long before the pyramids existed, before Babylon or Athens ever rose. Earth belonged to people we barely remember, and maybe people we don't remember at all. Their cities weren't carved in stone, their stories weren't written on tablets, but the ruins they left behind whisper something strange, a truth historians hesitate to say out loud. Human history might be far older than we think, and far more complicated than our textbooks admit. Archaeologists once believed civilization began 5,000 years ago, but the ground kept disagreeing. Monoliths older than writing, tunnels carved before metal tools existed, maps drawn before continents shifted, ruins placed with impossible precision. And slowly, the timeline we trusted began to fracture piece by piece. Across deserts, under oceans, beneath volcanic ash, ancient clues kept rising to the surface, and each clue whispered the same possibility. Civilization didn't start. It restarted. It all began with a simple hill in southeastern Turkey, a hill that wasn't a hill at all. Farmers clearing fields pulled out strange stones, too smooth, too shaped, too perfect. Archaeologists dug deeper and then froze. Buried beneath the soil was a structure older than any city on Earth, older than farming itself. A place called Göbekli Tepe, a temple built 12,000 years ago. Carved pillars weighing tons, patterns aligned perfectly with the stars. Built by people who weren't supposed to know how to build anything, yet somehow they did. And the strangest part wasn't the temple. It was the secret beneath it. Someone purposely buried the entire complex, like they wanted it hidden, like they knew something was coming, something worth surviving. And once Göbekli Tepe was uncovered, the world's forgotten past started resurfacing under the water near India. A massive drowned city appeared, streets, walls, and possible temples, 40 meters beneath the sea. By normal history, it shouldn't exist. By geology, it's over 9,000 years old. In Japan, another mystery, a stone monument beneath the waves of Yonaguni, terraces and steps carved with impossible accuracy. Natural formation or ancient architecture, experts argue. The stone doesn't. In South America stand the walls of Sacsayhuaman, stone so perfectly fitted you can't slide a blade between them. And scattered across the world, different cultures share the same symbols, the same myths, the same gods, which raises a question we can't avoid. Did they invent the same ideas or share the same memory? Imagine a civilization long before ours, connected across oceans we thought were impossible to cross, sharing knowledge, sharing stories, sharing warnings. Scholars once laughed at this idea. Now they're quieter because evidence keeps piling up, and the past isn't sitting still anymore. Polished granite cut with microscopic precision, megaliths too heavy for modern cranes, roads buried under jungles older than known cities, star maps carved before agriculture, and legends from every continent describing the same disaster, a great flood that erased everything. Even the Sphinx whispers a secret. Its erosion doesn't match the desert. It matches rain, massive torrential rain, from a time when the Sahara was a jungle, meaning the Sphinx could be thousands of years older than Egypt. And then comes the biggest question of all. What happened to them? What erased entire civilizations so cleanly, leaving only stones behind? The answer arrived from deep inside Greenland's ice, a layer scientists didn't expect. Microscopic glass, carbon, ash, signs of a violent global event, one powerful enough to change the climate instantly. Around 10,800 BC, the Earth was struck by fragments of a cosmic object. Firestorms swept continents. Forests turned to ash. Temperatures plunged without warning. Oceans rose. Animal species vanished. Human populations collapsed. This wasn't just a disaster, it was a global reset. If civilizations existed before it, the sky erased them. Imagine being one of the survivors, watching your world drown, your cities swallowed by the sea, your temples shattered, your libraries turned to mud, your history wiped away. You escaped to higher ground, carrying only memories. Memories that become stories, stories that become myths. Myths of gods who came from the sky. Myths of golden ages and lost continents. Atlantis, Lemuria, Shambhala. Maybe they weren't fantasies. Maybe they were memories. Survivors tried to rebuild, but the world they inherited was harsh. Tools became simple again. Knowledge fragmented. Civilization started over from almost nothing, but some things stayed alive. Stories of the stars. Stories of the floods. Stories of the age before the reset and the fear it could happen again. Today, we dig through deserts and oceans, and every discovery points to one thing. Human history isn't a straight line. It's a cycle. Rise, collapse, rise again. We're not the first version of humanity, just the newest chapter, and the ruins buried under our feet aren't just relics. They're warnings, messages from people who lived before the world fell. So when we see impossible stones, underwater cities, star-aligned temples, maybe we're not looking at mysteries, maybe we're looking at reminders, echoes of an ancient Earth that came before us, and a future we might repeat. The real question isn't, what did they know? How much of it have we forgotten? And how much are we about to rediscover?